Coming up!
Arguably the best, but hey ho, I'm not here to ruffle feathers, or maybe I am. This would be so much higher if it didn't do what it did. But I am. People may not like this and it may be controversial, but it's fight in anime manga, especially 2023 was one of the most packed years for anime and manga, but what were the top 10 anime manga of 2023? Now most people are doing top 10 animes, but we're switching it up. We're doing anime manga, because we're the best. Oh gosh, I love myself. Anyway, at number 10, give me My Hero Academia. Now the My Hero Academia manga right now is going crazy coconuts baloney. And genuinely, it's going crazy. Now for me to not have actually read the full manga, but just off the spoilers and how much I've read of the manga so far, I'm putting it on this list. I do think it could potentially go higher, but even the anime branched off into 2023 with it being especially good in the later stages with things like Deku vs Class 1A, the amazing episode of All for One escaping from Tartarus, and he was like the MC for an episode, and I love that episode. I remember it so vividly. So many crazy fights, plot twists going on in the manga, bro. It was obligated to have a spot. I just gave it number 10 because I wasn't sure where it should be. It wouldn't be top 5, I'll say that though. But at number 9, the fact that the hype for this manga has died down is crazy to me because it's about to get good, and it was good throughout 2023. Chainsaw Man. Now we see a mix of great writing, romance, and the usual Fujimoto special suffering in Chainsaw Man Part 2. We see Denji leading a normal life, and that in itself is entertaining, with the development of his and Asa's romance, and Asa alone being a great female character and one of the best new gen female characters, arguably the best, but hey ho, I'm not here to ruffle feathers, or maybe I am. Off the top of my head, I can't think of a new gen female better than Asa, I'll say that. Off the top, Lena Regina, Bloody Regina from 86. But outside of her, I can't think of a new gen female better than Asa. The story is about to go crazy with the reveal of an ongoing war between devils. Chainsaw Man was great this year. While there was less action compared to part 1, the writing and the dynamics between characters, ooh, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have done that. Chest day on Monday, like shit, oh, it was a good chest day, I'll say that. Oh, mate, that's crazy. At number 8, this would be so much higher if it didn't do what it did. But I have Black Clover. If Black Clover continued to be a weekly manga, this would be a completely different story. With the story reaching its peak and Lucius showing us why he had a shout for the best new gen villain, Yuno was doing his bits, and the return of so many characters with the paladins, angels, paladins, something like that. And even Yuno becoming a Magic Knight Captain, bro, epic moment. And Lucius versus Yuno being one of the most underrated and best fights of the year, and people actually dying within this arc. The Disney Clover allegations are done, finished, finito, fin. It's just a shame that they changed from going weekly to releasing every 3 months. Like, come on, that's crazy. That's crazy. Like, fairs, I understand health is a thing, but I need my peak, man. I need my peak. But at number 7, I contemplated putting Black Clover above this, however, I just don't think it's better. People may not like this and it may be controversial, but at number 7, give me the 7 Deadly Sins sequel, Four Nights of the Apocalypse. Oh, I love this manga. And the anime only really got hype from people that liked the original 7 Deadly Sins series. If you didn't like the original 7 Deadly Sins series, chances are you haven't watched it. Yeah, you're lost, loser, mongrel. The anime dropped in October and some good episodes were shown, but the main reasoning it's on this list is the manga. The manga, of which has went crazy coconuts baloney, shake my nuts in your face. I don't know why I said that, man. I'm not even gonna edit that out. But anyway, in 2023 we dived into the demon realm fully. We find out about Percival's backstory, how he came to be, and we find out about a new race within the whole 7 Deadly Sins verse, which is crazy. We finally see the Four Knights of the Apocalypse journeying together with a lot of great fights and the story reaching an amazing close to part 1. I don't want to, do I say spoilers or don't I say spoilers? Like, double tap your screen or whatever so you don't hear the spoilers, but with the death of Percival, bro, and that plot twist and like Lancelot and everything is just so amazing, I had to put it on the list. The haters won't like it. Those of us with peak taste will understand because we are the exception. Oh, that was cold. But anyway, at number 6, boy oh boy, give me Eminence in Shadow. I love this anime with all my heart, because there are very few animes that I watch that I enjoy more than this anime. With the story always bringing new and interesting concepts to it, with this season the Lawless City and the Blood Queen, with Rose and the Kingdom, Sid being Sid, or maybe
John Smith.
A lot of awesome fights, great characters introduced. I wouldn't say great characters introduced, there were good characters introduced, but it's like Sid's the selling point, the fights are the selling point. I wanted to say something, but I am not saying that on camera. I'm posting it on YouTube. That is crazy. That's like 4K right there. So I'm not gonna say it. I want to say, like, I want to hint to it at least. I'm gonna just say Shadow Garden is a place I would love to be. That's all I say. I'd love to be integrated into that community so I can be a part of Shadow Garden, if you know what I'm saying. But now we're into the top 5, and I'm going to say this. Everything between 6 and 10, they were quite close. But now there is 1,000 light years in between 5 and 6. Because like these were on a different level this year, undebatably. But at number 5, I have Bleach. By the beginning of 1000 Year Blood War, I was a bit disappointed. Not because it was bad, but I was expecting peak and it was only good to me. But then, I think it was after the Renji episode versus that in the sumo wrestler, it wasn't a sumo wrestler, the wrestler guy, and then we had Rukia's Bankai, Kenny Shikai, Ichigo's return, and the peak fight between Yuha and the Royal Guard versus Squad Zero, and boy oh boy, was this peak. I would very much argue I don't know if I want to say that. I'm gonna say Bleach has a shout for the best fights in anime manga this year. It has a shout. More on this later. The display from all these characters that aren't Ichigo show how great the side cast in Bleach is and how great the antagonists are. Bleach anything but top 5 for last year is criminal in my opinion. In my professional, humble pizza opinion. Mate, that pizza's crazy. That's weird. At number 3, tied for number 3, I have 2. For different reasons that it's like, we'll get into, but at number 3, tied for number 3, I have Vinland Saga. Now, if this was anime only, Vinland Saga would be top 2 at least. The manga was cooking this year, but I also kind of wanted to like let the chapters accumulate so I could binge, so I have them like caught up fully on the manga yet. But even for what I read from last year, the chapters were good, they were great. It's like, it's Vinland Saga, bro, like come on. But the anime was nothing short of a masterpiece, with all of the main cast being completely replaced besides Thorfinn himself, and all of them still being great, with Snake being my personal favourite of the side characters. Thorfinn in season 2 casually went through the best character development a character has been through in a single season, from a murderous teen to an individual filled with nothing, and through nihilism and stoicism, understanding and coming to a great and iconic moment of I have no enemies. Some fans weren't happy with the lack of violence this season, but genuinely, that's kind of the point. The absence of violence within Thorfinn's life and how he lives through it, since that's mostly what he's known throughout his life, is what we call great writing. He was going through a metamorphosis because he lived through so much violence, but now there's nothing. No violence, no revenge, nothing. He's empty. There is nothing in my heart. Vinland Saga this season was nothing short of a masterpiece, as I said, which is why I had to pick up the manga, but tied with number 3 because boy oh boy was this good. I have Attack on Titan. Now, outright, I don't think anime-wise AOT was better than Vinland Saga. Never mind if we include the manga for the year. But no anime came close this year for me personally to like ripping my fucking heart out and like making me, I cried, bro, like multiple times throughout this. Like emotionally, I've never been so invested in an anime. Genuinely. AOT does have a slight advantage in like tax because it did come to a conclusion, so it's like, oh, such a great story is coming to a conclusion, I can't put it down, you know what I mean? It's like, it's tax basically. The build up and mystery to Eren's intentions was amazing. I could feel the emotional turmoil that each character was going through, and it added massively to every single character. AOT will always hold a unique place in my heart, which is why I have it tied with number 3. It's in my personal top 10 anime manga wise. I'm not going to say anything more because I am going to drop a new top 10 video sometime this year. Who knows when. But as for the top 2 of 2023, anime and manga wise, undebatable. If this was anime only, Vinland Saga probably would have been number 1. AOT number 2. Maybe number 2. I don't think it would have been number 2. It would have been number 3. But anime manga wise, bro, come on. Like, this should have been predictable. But at number 2, Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm sick. Like, I haven't been posting on YouTube because I'm sick. But I wanted to get this video out. I wanted to post it in 2023, but I was sick. But anyway, JJK. Fuck. That pizza is so hard. It's like me looking at Nico Robin or Yamato or Reiju or Echidna from ReZero or Yurizu from JJK. On the topic of JJK, 2 out of 3 of the best arcs in 2023 anime manga came from JJK, with the Shibuya incident in the anime being completely perfect and having 5 of the top 10 fights and episodes of 2023. Sukuna vs Jogo, Sukuna vs Mahoraga, Toji vs Dagon, Gojo vs the Disaster Curses, and so much more. And this wasn't even the zenith of the mountain when it came to JJK this year. Gojo versus I'm getting goosebumps talking about this, bro. Gojo versus Sukuna. Come on, Monena. Shikai Soka Sodana Soka Mona. Hype on hype every single week, and in my opinion, the best fight in anime manga, especially once it gets animated. The nostalgia fiends are gonna come for me. Goku versus Frieza, Sasuke versus Naruto. Nostalgia fiends, get off my D and get off the nostalgia, bro. A lot of the JJK fights this year in Shibuya had a lot of stuff added to them. Never mind Gojo versus Sukuna, bro. Think about how good it is in the manga, and now Mappa's gonna make it 10 times better. We're playing around. This is a game. Even the hidden inventory arc was a 10 out of 10 for me. From the fights, the antagonists, the story. This year was a JJK year. But the reason I don't have it number 1, because after the Gojo versus Sukuna fight in the manga, it did get a bit worse. And of course, not every week is going to be peak. That rhymes. I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. But hey ho, I'm a great YouTuber and let me show it. Oh fuck man, I'm great. But not every week is going to be peak, like I said, especially considering this was the biggest event in anime manga since Gear 5. Hint to what's number 1. But nonetheless, it still got worse. Not bad or like shit, it was still good, but worse nonetheless. But like I said, speaking of Gear 5, number 1. One Piece, One Piece, One Piece, One Piece, One Piece, One. Now, anime wise, I think One Piece was worse than AOT, worse than JJK, and worse than Vinland Saga. But not by massive margins. Because hey ho, King vs Zoro exists, Luffy Gear 5, 1071, 1072, 1074 exists, Sanji vs Queen exists. And in terms of hype and popularity, One Piece takes the cake. But in terms of my individual taste, and I think a lot of people's individual taste, anime-wise, I don't think it was better than the ones I said. But thin margins, like I said. But when we add on the best arc of 2023 into the argument, the script gets flipped. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm just like such a cool dude. I feel like I just do everything so cool. I had a lollipop earlier and I wish I still had it. Egghead Island, the arc that keeps on giving. From the fights we didn't expect, to the characters we didn't expect, and Oda showing the true severity of the pirate world and us seeing the power of the Yonko, Egghead has been jam-packed. Never mind the absolutely beautiful backstory of Bartholomew Kuma, and the anime isn't without praise either, like I said. The episode run of Ifrit Genre to King of Hell and Gear 5 was cinematic, and I don't think anything outside of AOT carried more hype anime-wise. The consistency of Egghead has, for me, bolstered One Piece above JJK ever so slightly. And for me personally, I did feel more hype for the anime of One Piece than JJK. But in all of anime manga this year, JJK and One Piece ran it. Like, they ran it. And either pick for number 1 would have sufficed, anime manga wise. If we're including anime and manga, these two are top 2. But that's my top 10 anime manga of the year. What were yours? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Are you going to shit on me in the comments? Are you going to tell me you love me and I'm so beautiful and that you wish I was your father? Or I was king of the world like I think I should be? Who knows? But that's my list. Thank you guys for 500 subscribers. It's minuscule in the grand scheme of things, but hey, we're making way to the top of, I want to say the bay, but I don't know. But that's my top 10. Drop yours in the comments. Subscribe for more. Follow for more. Watch more of my videos or something. Do something. Like, be great, man. Just be great. Be like me. I love myself, man. But bye, guys. Love ya.